name is Robert Njerere. I'm currently the head coach for the Zambezi Amazons beach volleyball team. Our club was founded recently and we are working on trying to groom and develop young ladies into playing beach volleyball, a sport which we feel is highly marginalized and not yet very popular in our country.
Coach, you mentioned that you're facing a lot of challenges. I know we're talking about this, but maybe you can slightly highlight for me what are some of the greater challenges that you guys are facing in making sure that we have got a viable beach volleyball in Zimbabwe?
One of the challenges that we are facing in the country or as a club is the popularity of the sport is not yet that popular. We have not yet reached out to the community so that they can appreciate and fully support our beach volleyball initiatives. The other challenge that we are currently facing is in the form of infrastructure. We don't have venues that we can use or that are readily available for us to go and practice and play our beach volleyball matches and tournaments. And then also adding on to that challenge for the venues, we also have a challenge whereby we don't have many people playing beach volleyball. And as a club, we are here to try and popularize the sport so that at least we can have people playing beach volleyball, especially in the community. As you can see, we are here in Highfield where we are also playing beach volleyball. This is where we also started playing our beach volleyball activities in 2009. But over the years, we've sort of failed to maintain and to keep the place going. And as a result, last year, due to the COVID pandemic, the place was sort of deserted. And now we are now back again training. We hope to resuscitate this venue. And we are confident that if we do it properly, we can get the whole Highfield community and the greater Harare community behind us.
All right, Coach, I'm just looking at this facility that you're at. I don't think this is what you what you want. I don't think this is conducive enough for any sporting activity to take place, unless maybe it's one of those jungle sports. How do you go about this whole training? How do you motivate your players? How do they come to terms with this sort of facility and then say, guys, we're continuing with our sport?
Well, it's a challenge to get players motivated to play on substandard facilities, be it beach volleyball, be it soccer, volleyball. Every player who's aiming to play at the highest level, they want to be using the best facilities. And as a coach, I'm a bit disappointed that we have failed to come up with standardized beach volleyball facilities. But I think the onus is on us as coaches and administrators to improve and to develop and to maintain beach volleyball courts so that our players can enjoy, can also perform better if they are playing on the right facility. As you mentioned, this facility is well below standard. There is a lot of grass growing in the court and the surrounding areas. They are presenting a lot of challenges for the players. So it's not really a conducive venue for us to be playing, but this is the venue that we have. And as volleyball, we are here to try and develop the venue to make sure that we take ownership of the venue and improve the venue so that the players can also walk with us with that journey, which will take them to a better place in terms of the venue, improving the venue. So I know players at times they'll be disappointed, but that is what we have in Zimbabwe. And I'm confident that through time and getting partners and sponsors and the community at large to come in and assist, we can get this venue to meet national, regional and even international standards.
Mm-hmm. So do you have a proper facility that you say, not really proper, but maybe a permanent structure? Is this your home? Is this where you do your trainings every day, or maybe you're moving from place to place?
Well, as a club, we are hoping to make this our home because it's community-based. The other venues that we can talk of, they still need a lot of work to be done and they are also a bit far. We talk of if you want to get the right sand, the right feel of the beach volleyball, you need to go and train maybe in Bechna Bridge and Save River, or you have to go maybe to the lake or even to go across the borders, near Namibia, South Africa, that is a bit expensive. So we are looking at trying to set the tone as a club, whereby we are going to improve this facility, and we are also in communication with other sports organizations and sports centers, whereby we are going to be setting up our beach volleyball facility there.
Let's talk about beach volleyball in the Zimbabwean context.
Yes.
Do you think it is understood enough?
It's not yet fully understood, because when we started playing beach volleyball, we did not take the sport out to the community to get everyone to appreciate what beach volleyball is. But that being the case, as a club, we've realized that if we want to be fully appreciated within the community, we have to come up with outreach programs that are aimed at developing, at conscientizing, and at the same time at publicizing the sport to the young people, so that they grow understanding and appreciating what beach volleyball is. Currently, the people that we have are the few players that have played beach volleyball outside the country, and those few players, they don't constitute the number of people that would want to say that we can have beach volleyball being fully appreciated in the country.
Let's go back to the issue of facilities. I'm just looking around. And there's a busy highway there, there's a busy road, and then just behind you there's a busy shopping center, and this is a community hall. There's a lot of activities. I think people can see that there are a lot of people who are walking around. How much does this affect your training?
In terms of training, I think when we used to have proper training sessions here, we would get a lot of support from the community. They would come and start asking, what are you guys doing? What sport is this? Or is this beach volleyball? Most of the people would want to learn. Most of the people would stop. Some would stop their cars, stop and watch for a while, and then you see them reversing their cars and coming in. You guys, this is beach volleyball. Is this where you play? So in terms of effect, it has presented a positive effect in the sense that people are seeing us playing, and they now want to be associated with us, and they want also to be part of whatever we are doing as a sport.
But psychologically, for your players to be training at such substandard, do you think that affects their performances when they play against other top clubs?
Yes, obviously, when you are training using substandard facilities, it has a big effect on the result and on the performance, and even on the confidence of the players. Like now, we cannot do certain drills, we cannot perform certain techniques. Why? Because our facility is a substandard facility. It will prevent certain injuries to your player. So in terms of the result, it also has a big negative effect on our results and our performance, because we cannot fully implement the beach volleyball training techniques because our venue is not yet up to the required minimum standard.
Maybe one would ask, why are you soldiering on when you don't have enough resources? Why not just let it go?
Well, Rome was never built in a day, and we believe that if we continue with what we are doing, we will definitely get there. When we started playing beach volleyball in Zimbabwe, we were playing on grass, and the players would go home with blisters on their feet. And a month later, we went and played in Mozambique, and the players were so much happy that they got the experience, the exposure. But when we came back, they said, we don't want to play in grass anymore. Let's improve the facility. And surprisingly, the sand that we have here, apart from individuals contributing, even the players themselves, they also had a part in contributions for the buying of the sand here. So I think despite us playing and continuing, we continue because there is hope. Sport gives us hope, not only today but tomorrow. It unifies us, it brings us people from all different angles. And at the end of the day, it does not really matter if we are playing on sand or grass. We want to enjoy the sport. And with time, if we put in the right ideas, we get the right partners, we will definitely get the right facility being constructed here in Highfield and other facilities around Harare.
Let's talk about, you continue talking about the grass, the soil. Again, I come back to this facility that we're at right now. There's a lot of grass, and I think I saw one of your players just try. I think she was limping. I don't know what had happened. Maybe she was pricked by something. Where are you getting this grass? Where, the sand that you're using, how much are you channeling towards getting this? Is this money coming from your pockets? Are you getting sponsorship to acquire this?
As a club, for now, we are using our own resources to get the sand in place. But what we did when we started playing beach volleyball, because of limited resources and because we had not enough experience, we just bought sand. And sadly, we bought the wrong sand because we thought we'd just buy sand. And the sand that we have here is pit sand. Instead, we need what is called washed river sand, or at international level, we need what is called silica, which is the international standard beach volleyball sand. And I'm sure with time and through partners and through what we are doing right now, we'll get the right people to come and say, guys, can you please give us, can you please come and talk to us? We want to give you the right sand. We are hoping that it will happen sooner rather than later, because as a club, we've prioritized the facility as one of our key components in developing beach volleyball in the country. We want to develop it the right way now. We want to make sure we get the right sand. Like as you mentioned, if you put in the wrong sand, the players are obviously going to get injuries. They are not going to perform properly because the sand is not correct. If we are playing on sand or grass, we want to enjoy the sport. And with time, if we put in the right ideas, we get the right partners, we will definitely get the right facility being constructed here in Highfield and other facilities around Harare.
Let's talk about, you continue talking about the grass, the soil. Again, I come back to this facility that we're at right now. There's a lot of grass, and I think I saw one of your players just try. I think she was limping. I don't know what had happened. Maybe she was pricked by something. Where are you getting this grass? Where, the sand that you're using, how much are you channeling towards getting this? Is this money coming from your pockets? Are you getting sponsorship to acquire this?
As a club, for now, we are using our own resources to get the sand in place. But what we did when we started playing beach volleyball, because of limited resources and because we had not enough experience, we just bought sand. And sadly, we bought the wrong sand because we thought we'd just buy sand. And the sand that we have here is pit sand. Instead, we need what is called washed river sand, or at international level, we need what is called silica, which is the international standard beach volleyball sand. And I'm sure with time and through partners and through what we are doing right now, we'll get the right people to come and say, guys, can you please give us, can you please come and talk to us? We want to give you the right sand. We are hoping that it will happen sooner rather than later, because as a club, we've prioritized the facility as one of our key components in developing beach volleyball in the country. We want to develop it the right way now. We want to make sure we get the right sand. Like as you mentioned, if you put in the wrong sand, the players are obviously going to get injuries. They are not going to perform properly because the sand is not correct.
And talking about sponsorship and support, how much of that is needed right now for beach volleyball to grow in Zimbabwe? Not just for your club, but in Zimbabwe in general.
In terms of figures, it is a bit difficult to quantify, but in terms of infrastructure, what is needed is to construct at least 4 or 5 beach volleyball centers in and around Harare, and then we obviously would need teams that are supported, because it is the teams that make the event. So in terms of the actual figures, it's a bit difficult to tell, but the biggest cost that we are looking for is sand. In all our endeavors, we need the right sand, we need the sand, and whatever project we are coming up with, it's the sand that we really want. the cost of sand that we want is a bit expensive, but if we get the sponsors, the partners, I'm sure we can buy the right sand.
All right, we hope that you continue to get that support. Let's move on. Let's talk about the beach volleyball within the Zimbabwean context. Do you guys have a league? Is it functional? And how much did the COVID-19 affect your activities?
We currently are waiting for the association to come up with a beach volleyball series, which they are already working on, and we hope within the next few weeks or so we'll have the beach volleyball series in place. But in terms of the league, we don't have a proper league at the moment. It's just a series of tournaments that we are taking part in, and as a club we are taking part in both local and regional and even international tournaments as a way of trying to market our team and to get the team to appreciate how beach volleyball is played both locally, regionally and internationally.
So are you taking part in any competitions right now?
Yes, we are scheduled to take part in a tournament in Rwanda, which is in July. We were supposed to go to Durban, but because of the COVID protocols, we failed to meet the required deadlines in time. So we failed to travel to Durban because we had not been given the relevant clearance in time. But now we know that the amount of time needed for clearances to be done, we are working on getting ourselves registered and cleared to take part in the tournament in Rwanda in July. And after the Rwanda tournament in July, we are going to take part in another tournament in Slovenia. And then from Slovenia, we go to Bulgaria, and then we come back. So that is our current itinerary in terms of our scheduled tournaments. In terms of the local tournaments, we are still waiting for the calendar to come out. Once the calendar has been released, we will definitely take part in as many tournaments as we can, which are going to be organized by the national and the provincial associations. But as of now, there is a tournament on the 25th of May, which is in Beshnaf, and we are hoping we will take part in that tournament as well.
I can't just ignore your itinerary, especially the international one. You've got quite a number of international series that you're going to be part of. How much sponsorship would you need for those tournaments? And currently, do we have everything in place, or maybe you could say, no, we need this and that?
In terms of sponsorship, the value of sponsorship that we are looking at to take part in the 3 international tournaments that we mentioned, from Rwanda to Bulgaria, Slovenia, and back to Zimbabwe, we are looking at $20,000 US, which is inclusive of airfares, accommodation, transfers, and everything else that is needed, visas and so forth. We are looking at $20,000 US. Our manager, she's not yet here, she has the full details of exactly the individual items, how much is it for the fares. But in terms of what we've gathered so far as a club, we have realized that since the COVID pandemic struck, it has affected even the companies as well. So in terms of support, it is also a bit difficult to get the full support from the corporates because they are also struggling because they've been affected by the COVID pandemic. But as a club, we are also aware of that, and we have started our own fundraising initiatives, which we hope by the end of June will have raised at least half of the amount that we need. And should that be the case, we'll be looking at just raising about $10,000 from well-wishers and sponsors. And so we started playing beach volleyball just over there. Unfortunately, we cannot see much because there is some activity that has been taking place during the COVID. But from there we moved over and we came here and we started playing our beach volleyball here. We've hosted numerous beach volleyball tournaments, but as you can see, the venue is not the best or the ideal venue we can really be proud of. But also I think it's a challenge to us to try and raise the standards, improve the venue in terms of repairing, maintaining, putting in more sand. But however, as a community, we are also affected by vandalism. Recently, we had one of our poles for the net was stolen, and it's a big challenge to us to replace the pole. And also, we are now looking at ways of security. As you can see, this is a community facility, and there is minimum security. There is no fence, and so at times I think it's a way of trying to teach us that we need to educate our youth in our community on sense of ownership, so that they don't see this facility as ours but as theirs as well, because everyone will benefit from that facility. The other issue that we are going to address as a club is to come up with training programs within the community. We feel that the pandemic has affected people in terms of recreational activities. So we feel beach volleyball is one of the easier sports to just set up. As you can see, despite having the wrong sand, but it is still sand where people can still play and enjoy. But our main goal now is to reach out into the community and teach them on how the community can be saved in terms of looking after our infrastructure, looking after our equipment, looking after our courts, and everything surrounding the facility.
All right. Lastly, coach,
Yes.
how do you feel? I'm just seeing beds of sweet potatoes that side. How do you feel knowing that before that used to be a ground and you were forced to move, and now you're here?
Well, it's sad. For a start, it's sad, but being part of a community, you then also want to understand and to really sympathize with the people that also came up. But it's part of the community that we grow up in. When people look at an open space which is not being used, they use it to other things that can benefit them. From a volleyball point of view, it's really unfortunate that our space was taken up, but also we are happy that it's not a permanent facility which was put there. It's not a permanent crop. Very soon they will be harvesting. We actually engaged the people, and they even acknowledged that it was an error on their part, and once they've harvested, we are happy that we can get back our facility. And it's good that we create these relations with the community, and it's a learning process. If you stay away from your venue for too long, people will think it's no longer a venue for volleyball. They start using it for other activities, which is what happened here. Unfortunately, we cannot do much about it. COVID came in last year in March, and since March up to today, this is the first time we've come back here on this court. So you can't really blame the people that went and planted sweet potatoes in our volleyball pitch. They were also looking at trying to look after the place in terms of security. They've put in their crop and they now have to look after it. But from a volleyball and a sporting point of view, it really is a concern. We need to do something to look after our facilities. We need to come up with policies and strategies that can maintain our facilities, that can deter people from even just planting crops within the periphery of a volleyball facility.
My name is Vuiswa Kimberly Lomo, and I'm a beach volleyball player for Zambezi Amazons Beach Volleyball Club. I started playing beach volleyball in 2011, and I have been playing since.
Welcome to the program, Meet the Press with Lovejoy.
Thank you.
So basically, we would want to know, as a player, as a beach volleyball player, let's talk about, do you feel like you appreciate it? Do you feel like people appreciate the kind of sport that you are playing?
Sometimes no, I don't feel like people appreciate it a lot. I guess it's because it's a developing sport, so you have very few people who would probably understand what it's all about and how to play it. So you have very few people taking part or supporting it.
And definitely the next question would be, what would you want to see happening for you to feel appreciated?
Well, maybe more people to come to our games. Of course, right now we've got COVID, that's not possible. But I guess viewership, like when we have games, maybe we get more people who maybe watch them online, and just follow us whenever we've got something happening. It would be greatly appreciated.
Kim, we can't talk about beach volleyball in Zimbabwe without talking about the support systems. This is something that you and I have talked about behind the scenes. How much of the support systems are you lacking? That's if you're lacking, actually. Maybe you're getting something. And how much would you want to see being channeled towards the development of this sport?
Well, we get a lot of support because we've got so many players out there who do play. For instance, my partner, she's been playing, she played the World Youth Championships at some point when she was younger, and I've also gone around the region and I've played. So we have the support of the association, our provincial association and the mother body. We also have support from like companies. We've got Premium Clothing Zimbabwe. They've sponsored us with the kit for all our travels for this year. So I feel like people are actually seeing us, you know. So for me, it's great. It's great. I'm hoping to get more support because we've got a lot of places we want to go to this year, and I'm hoping something will work out.
Okay. Obviously, Zimbabwe, like the rest of the world, was affected greatly or immensely by the COVID-19. When the COVID-19 came, government announced that it was going to avail a COVID relief fund for the youth, for the sports. Did you guys get that?
No, we did not get that. I think another reason was we were not here to register the club when it happened, so we didn't get that relief fund. We just started, so.
But did you apply after you registered?
No, we didn't.
All right. So do you think maybe the government, the SRC, is doing enough to support beach volleyball in Zimbabwe?
So far, so good. Like the last team that went to the All Africa Games was the ladies team. They did quite well. We were ranked number 13 in Africa. I think that was a great achievement. The SRC was supporting us greatly. We had a lot of people who went there who supported us. So I feel like they did well. The ladies who played did really well, and I'm hoping we continue to do so. Because we also managed to qualify for the next round of the Continental Cups.
All right. Before you came through, I was talking to your coach. He was just lamenting the issue of infrastructure. You guys, you are training at this facility. I don't know much about beach volleyball, but just looking around, I am not impressed by the kind of facility that you are using. How much does this affect you? How much does this affect your performance as a player?
It affects us greatly. This facility is actually better than how we actually started.
Is it?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Because we started off playing on grass. Most of the time we'd go home with bruises and braces on our knees, on our feet. But it was okay because we wanted to play. So the sand is better now. Obviously we would want more sand, we would want a better facility, but we are thankful that we actually get the opportunity to play.
So what motivates you to continue playing such a minority sport? Forgive me for saying that.
I won't lie, I have issues with contact sports.
Okay.
So I prefer playing volleyball. It's the ball and it's the net and it's your partner. So for me, I prefer playing non-contact sports because of my size, maybe.
So size does matter after all.
Yes, it does.
Okay.
But no,
okay.
I just enjoy playing it. It's a passion. I fell in love with it when at a very young age. And I got hooked and I've never stopped playing since. I used to get into trouble with my parents, but I just went on playing. And it has been a good consolation for me. There was a time I had a difficult time in 2010. I lost a very important person in my life, and that's when I got introduced to beach volleyball. And I got hooked, and it occupied my mind, it occupied my time. It was a way to console myself from the loss I'd encountered. Yeah.
So you're not giving up, no matter the challenges?
Nah, I won't give up. I think I'll continue playing until until my knees don't work.
Talking about challenges, what are some of the challenges that you guys are facing? I know I talked about the facility, the training facility. What are some of the broader challenges that maybe you guys are facing?
Well, the main or biggest challenge so far, I guess, is sponsorship. Again, it's a minority sport. It's a developing sport. You get very few people who know about it, and they don't really want to be a part of it because obviously they're looking for mileage. They just don't want to support something that's not going to go far. But we have gone far. Like the last time we played, I think a month before the first lockdown, we'd just come back from Botswana and we'd gotten silver. In the months, I think 3 months before, we had gotten gold. And I thought that was a great achievement. It's unfortunate we hadn't formed the club yet, but it would have been a great milestone for us as a club. We do get results. It's just that it's a small sport, mileage might be small, but I feel the biggest challenge is sponsorship. People don't really understand why we need what we need. And for me, I think that's the biggest challenge, sponsorship. People to just accept the sport as it is.
And also maybe the role of the media. I know us as media press, the whole point is just to bring such things to the people. We want to meet you guys, and then the people meet us, and people meeting the press. That's why you're here.
Exactly.
And how much support do you think the media can play in amplifying beach volleyball in Zimbabwe?
Well, I just heard that there's a media station that will be helping the PSL, with their games. But it's something that's been ongoing for such a long time. I mean, everyone watches soccer. I'm not disputing that. I'm not hating on soccer. But it would be really nice, to get a few people who come to watch volleyball, maybe a channel that comes and takes volleyball videos and airs them. We only get to hear about volleyball when there's something big happening, like maybe the national team is going for the Olympics, the national team is going for the Continental Cup. That's as far as maybe the media takes it. We would want them to be with us throughout the journey from the beginning to the end. It would be a big difference. People get to know about us, and it's a good thing if they would do that for us.
Are you taking the sport to the people? Because I think that's also another issue. This being a relatively unknown sport or version of volleyball.
Yes.
Are you taking to the people? Are you taking maybe to high schools, primary schools, or also maybe tertiary institutions?
Right. When we started, we did take it to schools. I was actually one of the players who exhibited at one of our youth games some years ago. It was a great experience for me. People didn't understand, with beach volleyball you dress a particular way, so it was shocking for them. But they then accepted it, and we found out later on that there's beach volleyball at the National Youth Games. That was an achievement for us. And for us, a place like this, you get people who pass through here every single day and watch us train. And they want to play as well. They tell us, oh, you guys were here a few years back. Are you guys coming back? And I'm like, yeah, we are coming back. And they're really happy to see us here because they have somewhere where they can just stop by and just watch us play. We had people, again, who used to drive by, give us a bit of money for water.
Okay.
So we've had support. We've had the community taking part here and there.
And maybe lastly, just explain to us the nitty-gritties, what we don't know about beach volleyball. How many players take part? How is it played? Is it the same as our normal in courts, normal volleyball?
All right. We use a slightly different ball in terms of weight. It's a bit heavier than the normal indoor volleyball ball. It's played by two people, either mixed or of the same gender. And it's a game up to 21. It's a best of 3 sets. So if
Okay. Hold on. What is that? Up to 21. Okay.
Points up to 21. So usually the indoor volleyball or the conventional volleyball, it's up to 25. It's a best of 5 sets. So let's say a team wins the first 3 sets, they've won the game. And it's the same thing with beach volleyball. It's a best of 3 sets. The sets are up to 21. And that's the difference mainly. You don't play beach volleyball with shoes. And obviously the attire is slightly different. You'll get women mainly dressed in either bikinis or tights, depending on the weather or where they are or what religion they are. So it's a very diverse sport, but it's fun.
Is it more like tennis?
It's on a sand surface, so yeah, there's slightly a little difference, but it's close enough. It's close enough. It's a lot of work as well compared to the indoor volleyball, because in the court you're only 2. You have to cover quite a large court, and yeah, it's taxing, but it's great.
And other stories, visit our website www.263chat.com. Follow us on Twitter @263chat and like our Facebook page 263chat.